In the depths of history, hidden within the darkest corners of human curiosity, lies a tale so terrifying that even whispering it sends shivers down the spine. Imagine a world where the boundaries of science and morality blur, where human lives become nothing more than expendable test subjects. Tonight, we dive into one of the most disturbing and infamous legends ever told, the Russian sleep experiment. Was it merely a creepypasta? Or did it conceal a terrifying reality hidden by shadows of war? Brace yourselves. The nightmare begins now. During the late 1940s, in the aftermath of World War II, Soviet scientists sought to gain every possible advantage in both warfare and psychology. In the secret halls of a hidden military facility, they devised an experiment unlike anything ever attempted before. 5 political prisoners, labeled as enemies of the state, were promised freedom in exchange for one thing: to endure 30 days without sleep. They were placed inside a sealed chamber with thick glass windows, microphones, running water, dried food enough for a month, and cots without bedding. But the key to the experiment was the gas, a newly engineered stimulant delivered into the chamber, designed to prevent sleep indefinitely. The scientists believed that unlocking sleeplessness could lead to super soldiers, men who never tired, never stopped, and never rested. The prisoners agreed, not knowing that their freedom would come at the cost of their very humanity. The first 3 days passed with little incident. The men were calm, though restless. They spoke about their lives, their regrets, and the trauma of war. By the 4th day, the tone of their conversation shifted. Their words grew darker, their thoughts filled with paranoia, anger, and despair. By the 5th day, silence began to take over. The men whispered to the microphones, sometimes confessing secrets, sometimes muttering incoherent phrases. Their trust in one another collapsed. Each man seemed to believe that the others were plotting against him. On the 9th day, the first scream pierced the chamber. One prisoner ran back and forth, screaming at the top of his lungs for hours until his voice broke into hoarse squeaks. The others did nothing. They whispered still, ignoring his agony. Soon after, another began screaming. The remaining prisoners tore pages from the books, smeared them with their own waste, and plastered them over the windows, blocking the researchers' view. The screams suddenly stopped. The chamber fell into an eerie, impossible silence. Days passed. No voices. No movement. Yet oxygen consumption showed the prisoners were alive and burning energy as if under extreme exertion. The scientists, desperate for any response, finally broke protocol. Through the intercom, they announced, "Step away from the door. Lie flat on the floor or you will be shot. Compliance will earn one of you your freedom." For the first time in days, a calm voice responded, "We no longer want to be freed." On the 15th day, soldiers and researchers prepared to open the chamber. The stimulant gas was flushed out, replaced with fresh air. Instantly, the prisoners began to scream, begging desperately for the gas to return. When the doors finally opened, what awaited inside was beyond horror. One of the 5 prisoners was dead, his flesh torn apart, his organs scattered. The remaining 4 were still alive, though alive seemed hardly the right word. Large portions of muscle and skin had been ripped from their bodies. Their abdominal organs had been removed, yet remained functioning, laid out around their torsos like grotesque displays. The prisoners had been eating their own flesh to stay alive. The soldiers recoiled in terror. Some refused to re-enter the chamber. Others vomited at the sight, yet the mutilated prisoners screamed only one thing: "Turn the gas back on." When soldiers tried to remove them, the prisoners fought with inhuman strength. One soldier had his throat torn out. Another was fatally injured. Several more would later commit suicide after witnessing the nightmare. One subject, despite losing liters of blood, continued to fight even as his heart pumped nothing but air. His final word before collapsing lifeless was "more." The surviving 3 were restrained and taken to a medical facility. What the doctors discovered defied logic. The most wounded subject was prepared for surgery to replace his organs. Despite massive doses of sedatives, he resisted. Only when anesthetic gas was applied did he finally close his eyes, only for his heart to stop instantly. His blood was found to contain 3 times the normal oxygen level. His muscles were torn apart from sheer exertion. Another prisoner with his vocal cords destroyed endured a 6-hour surgery without anesthetic. When it ended, he scribbled a note with trembling hands. Keep cutting. The final 2 survivors laughed maniacally during their operations, restrained only by paralytics. The moment they regained movement, they begged again for the gas. When asked why they mutilated themselves, why they wanted the gas so badly, their chilling answer was the same. We must remain awake. The decision was made to return them to the chamber. EEG monitors revealed brain activity that dipped repeatedly into flatlines, as if the subjects were dying, only to come back. When one finally closed his eyes, his brain activity stopped completely. His heart followed. The commander ordered the chamber resealed with the 2 remaining subjects inside. But before it could happen, a researcher snapped, shot the commander, and turned his gun on one prisoner, killing him instantly. Pointing the gun at the last surviving subject, the man screamed, "What are you?" "I must know." The prisoner, smiling through bloodied teeth, whispered his final words, "We are you, freed from sleep." And so ends the chilling legend of the Russian sleep experiment. Whether fact or fiction, it remains one of the most disturbing tales of human cruelty and scientific obsession ever told. If this story kept you on the edge of your seat, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. More dark tales are waiting for you hidden in the shadows, ready to haunt your imagination. Until next time, sleep well.